Mr. Mueller's art class, Elements of Art, Line. Line is an element of art defined by a point moving in space. Lines can be vertical, horizontal, diagonal, or curved. They can be any width or texture, and can be continuous, implied, or broken. On top of that, there are different types of line, aside from the ones previously mentioned. For example, you could have a line that is horizontal and zigzag, or a line that is vertical and zigzag. Different lines create different moods. It all depends on what mood you are using a line to create. Everywhere you look in art, we see lines. Okay, so what I want to see you guys do is we're going to use a thing called Pixlr. It is online, so you're going to need to open up a new browser.
If you're on an iPad, you may have to download the app and try it on there. It's a little different over there. But if you have access to a laptop or a desktop computer, it's going to be a lot more similar to what I'm doing right now. I don't have an iPad to show you guys. I wish I did. Maybe in the future I'll be able to get a hold of one. But right now they're all being taken up at school. And that's a good thing, because everyone's got them passed out.
But what we need to do first is we're going to go to a new browser, and that can be Google or anything else.
DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, Bing.
And what you're going to do is you're going to type in Pixlr Editor space Editor EDITOR. Enter.
Okay, and that should bring up a link to pixlr.com/editor.
So from there, you're going to click on here, online photo editor, pixlr.com. And between the two of these, we are going to use, for the sake of this lesson, we're going to use Launch Pixlr X. That's the easier to use one. I'm going to use this right here. And these are a bunch of examples I've made in the past, but I'm going to go with, so you have options over here on the left side, and I'm going to click on Create New. And for the sake of what we're making today, I'm just going to go with the full HD version. So it says full HD, and this is the title. In the name, you need to make sure your name is in your title so I can know that your file is your file. What we're going to type in there is type in your name. So I'm going to type my first and last name, Nolan Mueller. You need to type your name, and then it's going to be space. And then this is going to be for lines drawing. So I'm just going to type in lines. Okay, and I'm going to click create. Now I should have a big gray and black checkerboard, and this is my bottom layer. So layers in this this drawing program are like they stack on top of each other. So I can draw something on this layer and then create more layers and draw on those layers, and they're not on the same layer, but you can see them at the same time. It's like being able to draw on transparent papers on top of each other over and over again. So what I want to do first is I'm going to paint my background a blank color. So to do that, I'm actually going to have to create a giant shape. And these are your tools over here to play with. You've got
Properties, Arrange, Crop, Cutout, Adjust, Filter, Effect, Liquify, Retouch, Drawing, Text, Add Element, Add Image.
And what I'm going to do for this part right here is do Drawing. So I'm going to go to Draw. And I could try to draw the entire background in. That would take forever. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go to Undo. And what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to click on Shape Tool up here. And you guys can pause and rewind this video at any time. don't worry, I don't mind at all. So I'm gonna go to Shape Tool. So yeah, if you guys need to catch up, just pause it, rewind it, and watch it again. And I'm gonna pick a color background. For this, I'll just go with something easy to understand. I'm gonna go with white. You guys can pick any color you want though.
I'm gonna, if you see my cursor, this thing, it's called a cursor, or the mouse, and whenever I have it and it's gonna draw, it'll look like a cross right there. Now, whenever it turns into other shapes, like if it turns back into a pointer, a little arrow, that's not gonna draw for me. That's gonna click on other links, and I'm gonna go to another page, and I'm gonna lose whatever I'm working on, so I don't wanna do that. The little hand thing is inside of this app, so if I'm on that, I can click on the hand thing to click on other things. But what
if I'm drawing, I want to see the cross, and I click and I hold down the left button while I click and drag, and there we go. So now I've got my background. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to create a new layer. That's right over here. You click this. That little plus button, I'll show you again. It's right here, the little plus button down here at the bottom. You click that, and then you have the option to create a new layer. And this kind of layer, I'm going to make it an empty layer. Alright, so on this layer, what I want to do is I want to start creating some lines. And we've seen some lines, now we're going to create our own lines. And you're going to create your own picture, making lots and lots of lines. So, over here, let's go back over here to our drawing tools up at the top. You got a brush tool, eraser tool, pen tool, and shape tool. For the drawing that we're going to do, we're going to use the brush tool. And what I want you to do is, well, if you see right here, that's a preview of what color and what your brush type will look like. And if it's white, it's not going to show up on white. So I'm going to have to change that to something else. I can pick from these colors, or I can come down here and select anything over here. So if I select in here, it's either you've got the hue, which is either going to be your reds, orange, yellows, greens, blue, violets. And then down here you've got your blacks and your whites, and then your grays all in between. So you can pick almost any different kind of color. You just have to kind of choose, what hue you're going to go with. So I can change my hue here, and I can change my value. This is going to be value, your blacks and your whites. So I'm going to go maybe pick a dark blue. I like that. You can pick any color you want though. And let's see, some of our lines that we were learning about were kind of sort of straight lines. It's not too straight. And it's not straight because I'm using my own finger to try to draw this. The cool thing about using the computer is I can show you guys in a second how to make a perfectly straight line. So we've got straight lines, you can do dashed lines, and I want you guys to practice doing all of this on a computer. And you guys can have fun and come up with different colors. You don't really have to draw a picture here. I just want to see you guys practice doing lots of different lines. You can do dotted lines. Maybe they zigzag or swirl. I want you guys to practice spiraling lines. I want to see you guys practice all sorts of lines. You can do lines that are made up out of stripes. Now if you watched in the video before, you can see some examples of lines are made up of other objects or shapes. So you could even, if you want to get creative with it, really creative, I saw a couple lines in there made up out of trees out in nature. So I'm going to make a line made up out of trees. And I'm just doing something really simple for this. You guys have all the time this week to make it as creative or as simple as you want it to be. But I do want to see lots and lots of lines. If I don't see a lot of lines, I'm going to send the assignment back to you and tell you to do it again with more lines, more examples. Let's see how many I can fit on here, and then that can be kind of a goal for us. So that's how to make lines with just the brush tool. One cool thing that you guys can do too is come over here to the pen tool, and the pen tool, oh, that one's really small. So the size is super small. I'm going to have to make that bigger so I can see it. And oh, I think I'm on white. That's why the color's not showing up. Yep. So let me change the color. See how big it is. There we go. So here I can do some jagged lines. But what you can do with this tool, it actually gives you the option to change the style of your line. So that's plain. I can click here and I can create parallel lines that happen at the same time. Just whichever direction I start going in, they go that direction. It's kind of parallel. I'll change up my color. Go with something different. And I'll show you a different style. You can do some sketchy lines. That's kind of neat. You're just clicking and holding. Maybe create some pattern to this. Zigzag back and forth. But everything we draw, everything you make, anytime you're making art, line is about the most basic element that we have. I don't think you can make too much without a line. In fact, challenge me. If you can find a piece of artwork that doesn't have a line in it, send it to me. I'll be surprised. You can make shaded lines. They're all kind of similar. Crayon lines. Change the size here. Change the color. Go back through that video and we have lots of different examples of lines. I saw some, I like the ones in sidewalks that are just crooked and jagged, like all over the place. And then the natural lines too. Saw a lot of natural lines in there. But I want you to try to fill up all your space with lines. So let's see. With this, I can get about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, probably a few more. So let's say about 20 different lines at least, all in one image. I'm not going to do all 20 yet. I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to save this. So what you do next is to save this, you click on Save at the bottom, and you've already got your name on there. I'm going to change the file type from a PNG to a JPG. So it goes to PNG automatically, but we don't want that. We're going to go with JPG. And click that. You don't have to change anything here. You can keep the quality, you can keep it high. Then you're going to go to Download. So it's going to download this image that you just made on this website to your computer or your device. So I'm going to click Download. Oops, and no Nebraska Furniture Mart. I don't need flooring right now. Close out of there. You can see right down here at the bottom bar, it popped up. That's the file. That means that it's in my downloads now. So what you can do next is when you go to your Google Classroom and you go to this assignment, you're going to look for this name, this file that you downloaded. It should be in your downloads, and you're going to upload or insert that picture into the Google Doc. Okay? And in the Google Doc you'll find a few more instructions about what to do. And that's it. It's a pretty simple assignment. Good luck!